Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The Bold and the Beautiful Friday, October 17th. Recap. Finn's news for Poppy. Deke's reveal stuns Hope. The Bold and the Beautiful. B&B recap for Friday, October 17th. Indicates that John Finn Finnegan, Tanner Novlin, had some grandparents' news for Poppy Nozawa, Romy Park, while Deke Sharp's Harrison Cohn big reveal stunned Hope Logan, Annika Noel. At the hospital, Finn confronted Lee Finnegan, Naomi Matsuda, since she saved Luna Nozawa, Lisa Yamada, and kept her survival quiet. Once Poppy showed up on Friday's B&B episode, Finn informed her that Luna was alive. Poppy called Luna a little bitch and was glad to hear she was now in prison where she belonged. Finn also shocked Poppy with the revelation that they were going to be grandparents. Poppy got updates on Luna being pregnant by Will Spencer, Crew Morrow, and was totally floored. At Forrester Creations, Ridge Forrester, Thorsten Kay, Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang, Carter Walton, Lawrence St. Victor, and Hope continued to gush over the new designer pick. Once Hope decided it was time to get in touch with the person behind the designs, she looked at the attached business card and handed Carter her phone to dial the number. In the design office, Deke exchanged introductions with Electra Forrester, Lania Grace, and complimented some of her jewelry. During their chat, Deke let Electra in on a secret and admitted he put his portfolio in Hope's anonymous pile. Back with Hope, she was surprised when Deke answered the phone. Deke explained this was his new LA number and was summoned to the CEO office, where Hope got confirmation those were his designs. Deke worried Hope might be upset over his deception, but she wasn't angry at all and was thoroughly impressed with his talent. Ridge sang Deke's praises as well, so Deke was thrilled when he got the job and vowed not to let them down. At the Spencer mansion, Will sulked over this whole Luna mess as he vented to his parents. Bill Spencer, Don Demont, and Katie Logan, Heather Tom, were there for Will, who eventually met up with Electra to check on her and insist they'd get through this together. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Will and Electra may have more romantic obstacles ahead of them due to this whole Luna fiasco. Friday's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful unfolded like a symphony of confessions, confrontations, and life-altering revelations. The drama stretched across the Forrester and Finnegan circles like wildfire, sparing no soul from emotional collateral damage. At the Cliff House, Finn returned from the hospital with a weighty expression, the kind that instantly alerted Poppy that something wasn't right. She had been pacing restlessly ever since he'd asked to speak with her privately. No mention of Luna, no hint at urgency, just a quiet request with grave undertones. Now, as he stood before her, eyes full of apology and determination, Poppy's throat tightened. "Just say it," she practically whispered. "Whatever it is, just tell me." Finn hesitated before delivering the news. Luna's paternity test results had come in. For a moment, Poppy froze, her heartbeat thundering in her ears. She gripped the edge of the counter to steady herself, bracing for the storm she had delayed facing for decades. Finn spoke softly but firmly. "It's not who you thought, it's someone unexpected." She blinked rapidly, trying to read between the lines. "You mean it's not Bill?" Finn shook his head. Poppy swayed, all the air leaving her lungs. "Then who?" Across town at Il Giardino, Hope sat across from Deke, her expression a blend of concern and frustration. She had been trying to give her father the benefit of the doubt. Again. He'd insisted he had something important to tell her, something that would change her perspective on everything. She wasn't sure whether to brace for disappointment or chaos. With Deke, those options usually came in pairs. "All right, Dad," Hope sighed. "I'm here. Just tell me what's going on." Deke inhaled deeply, his hands clasped together as if he was preparing for divine judgment. "You know, I've been trying to prove myself, trying to be better, but I've been keeping something from you. Not because I wanted to hurt you, but because I wasn't sure how you'd react." Hope's patience thinned. "Is this about Sheila? Because it is about Sheila," he cut in. She stiffened. "But it's more than that. There's something else, someone else involved, Someone connected to this family in ways no one saw coming. Hope stared at him, dread creeping in like fog. "Deke, what are you saying?" He swallowed hard. "I know who Luna's father is." Back at the Cliff House, Poppy's world tilted off its axis. Bill Spencer had not been the biological father. Her carefully constructed narrative, the safety net she'd wrapped her daughter in, was dissolving. Regret twisted through her like poison. "Who?" she repeated, desperate. Finn hesitated. "Poppy, before I say it, I need you to know that Luna deserves the truth. Secrets only create more damage," her voice broke. "Just tell me." Finn exhaled. "It's Deke Sharp." Silence swallowed the room. Poppy blinked once. Then twice. Then again, trying to recalibrate reality. She felt heat rise in her cheeks, not from embarrassment but disbelief. No, that's impossible," she whispered. "Deke? From Vegas?" Finn nodded sympathetically. His DNA was flagged when Luna came in for the blood panel. It pinged as a familial match. I followed up. "It's him." Poppy stumbled backward, nearly collapsing into a chair. Memories she'd buried came roaring back. Reckless nights under neon lights, laughter she mistook for freedom, mistakes she prayed would stay forgotten. Now they had come to collect their price. Hope stared at Deke in stunned horror. "You're telling me you're Luna's father?" Deke held up his hands quickly. "I didn't know, Hope. Not until recently. Not until some things started lining up. Sheila overheard Poppy talking in the restaurant the other day. She put the pieces together. Then Finn confirmed it." Hope's pulse quickened. "You knew and you didn't tell me until now?" "I wanted to be sure," Deke pleaded. "I didn't want to throw another bomb into your life unless I knew it was real. And now that I do, I'm telling you because I don't want to lie anymore." "Not to you." Hope leaned back, dazed. "So Luna is my stepsister?" Deke nodded slowly. Hope let out a hollow laugh. Only in this family could something like this be considered normal. Deke reached across the table. "Hope, I swear to you, I'm trying to be a better man. Maybe this is my chance. Maybe I can be the father I failed to be before, to both of you." But Hope's eyes were distant. She wasn't ready for fatherly redemption. Not today. Not after being sucker-punched by yet another secret. At the Cliff House, Poppy finally gathered herself, tears glittering in her eyes but pride holding them back. "Finn," she said quietly, "please don't tell Luna. I need to be the one." Finn nodded. "She deserves the truth from her mother, but she also deserves it soon." Poppy inhaled shakily. "I know." For years she'd convinced herself that burying the past meant protecting her child. Now she saw that silence had consequences just as sharp as truth. Meanwhile, Hope stood and gathered her purse, ignoring Deke's pleading look. She paused only long enough to whisper, "You better hope Poppy and Luna handle this better than I just did." Then she walked out, leaving Deke staring after her, unsure if he had just saved his relationship with his daughter, or destroyed it completely. Friday's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful delivered a 1-2 punch of emotional chaos. One dealt in quiet devastation behind closed doors. The other detonated in broad daylight with no warning. By the time the credits rolled, 2 families were reeling, 2 women were shattered, and 2 men stood helpless in the wake of truths they could no longer keep buried. Finn walks in with the truth, and Poppy falls apart at the Cliff House. Poppy anxiously awaited Finn's return from the hospital, her nerves unraveling with every passing minute. She knew he had gone to check Luna's updated medical panel, but the look in his eyes when he walked through the door told her this wasn't just about iron levels or fatigue. This was something bigger, something irreversible. "Finn, what happened?" she asked quietly, afraid of the answer. Finn hesitated, the doctor in him ready to deliver facts, the son-in-law in him dreading the heartbreak they would cause. "The tests didn't just flag a genetic marker," he said with measured calm. "They flagged a DNA match." Poppy's fingers tightened around the back of a chair. "A match to who?" Finn inhaled slowly. "Someone already in our system," Poppy swallowed. "Bill?" Finn shook his head. A silence so heavy it could crush filled the room. "Then who, Finn?" she asked, her voice small now. He took a step toward her, compassion in his eyes. "Poppy, it's Deke Sharp." For a moment she didn't breathe. Didn't blink. Didn't exist. The name hung in the air like smoke from a forgotten fire, one she thought had burned out long ago. Deke? She whispered. Sheila's Deke? From Vegas? Finn nodded. Poppy stumbled back as memories she had buried deep beneath polished smiles and peppermint tea surged forward. Neon nights, slurred laughter, foolish trust. She had told herself it had meant nothing. A moment. A mistake, a blur. But that blur now had consequences. A living, breathing daughter. My God, she whispered, pressing a hand to her mouth. Luna can never know. Finn's voice turned firm. She has to know, Poppy, if not now. Soon. She shook her head violently. No, not yet. I need time. But time was a luxury she no longer had, because across town, another storm was already gathering speed.